Hi, I'm Keiko, and today I'm going to show you how to needle felt little pigs. So I created this video tutorial on how to make a pig for my kit, but if you don't have a kit, there's no need to worry. You can, if you only have white, wool bat, or roving, you can dye it pink, or any color you want your pig to be. I do have a video on how to dye wool bats really quickly and easily in your kitchen. This one I just used a pink lemonade Kool-Aid to dye it pink. If you have some rovings are usually more strip-like and aligned. You can also use merino roving or any kind of roving you have. And if you only have white, you can also dye that too. Okay, so you'll need about 0.11 ounce or about 0.07 ounces of pink or whatever color you want your pig to be. A little bit of black. If you're using my kit, there's a lot of extra black, so you're not going to be needing much of this, so you can save it for other projects. There will be a little bit of extra pink wool just in case you forget to save some out for the ears and tail, or if you want to add a little. And there will be a pom-pom, and this will make it quicker to needle felt. And a little bit of white. Again, you're really going to use a tiny bit for the nostrils, so you'll have plenty left, and a little bit of a darker pink. So this was, I think, watermelon Kool-Aid color, and I dyed it myself. Okay, and then in my kit I do use a very small foam just so that you have something to work with, but a larger one is usually recommended if you're going to do it over and over. And this is a 38 gauge needle, so this is your all-purpose needle, which will work just fine for this. Okay, so I'm gonna scoot these little guys over and scoot all that over, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and take, there's usually a little extra wool that I include in all of my kits, so save some out, maybe make a tiny extra one. Okay, so the pom-pom does make it faster. You do not need to use a pom-pom if you don't want to, but I usually have these rolling around in the house, so I like to use these to save extra wool and to make it faster. So I'm going to put it on the very end, and there are two ways to do this. You can just roll this into a sausage like this and needle felt right here, or if you want a slightly tighter, smaller, cleaner ends, as you roll, you kind of fold this in. So, did you see that? Let me see if I can show you better. Okay, so here, and I'm gonna roll, and then I'm gonna kind of tuck this side in a little bit like this, and again on this side, and then I'm just gonna keep rolling and tucking it in. So this may be a little bit harder for some, but this will actually make the process faster. So then I have a very, very tight little ball like that. Okay, so it's really a similar process, just a little less work to put the ends in if you do it this way versus just rolling it into a sausage shape. Okay, so for both, as you get to this point, you want to poke here where it comes together so that your little piggy will stay in one piece. Okay, so I got that. All right, and then I'm just going to go ahead and roll it and poke just to make sure it's fine. And it looks like this end will be as if you rolled it into a sausage without tucking it in, since this ended up being a little open. So now we're going to poke both ends in. So I'm gonna poke this one in so you can see. Just poking, poking. And this comes together really fast. Especially since this wool bat has a lot of nice little crimp to it. So a crimp, just so you can see, do you see it's really crimpy? That's what crimpy looks like. And so that helps the needle tangle the wool really, really fast. And that's why I like using these. There's nothing wrong with the merino wool, but do you see how it's a lot smoother? So it's a little harder sometimes to do. Okay, so we're going to keep going. So that's one end, and then I'm going to do the other end. Yep. So you won't break your needle if you poke it in and pull it out in the same direction. So you just don't want to do any weird motion once your needle's in. So if it goes in at this angle, pull it out at the same angle. And then you shouldn't break your needle. Goodness, probably have only broken like maybe 1 or 2 in I don't know how many years. So it's pretty rare to break for me, but all you just have to do is just poke it and pull it in the same angle that you inserted in. Okay, so that was pretty quick since I rolled it in, and so here, just gonna make sure I like the shape. Okay, I'm gonna actually tighten it a little bit. So the more you poke, the smaller it's going to get and the tighter your little piggy's going to be. So it just really depends. If you like sort of a softer, fluffier pig, that's totally okay. It's your preference, it's your pig. And I think that's going to be good for this one for me. Okay, so for my little piggies, if you look at where I put in the neckline right here, it's going to be, so let's say this is about half here. It's going to be a little bit in the front, but again, wherever you want that face to be is where you're going to put this line, and there is no right or wrong. So let's see, I'm just going to go about similar. So this is about my midpoint here, and so I'm going to go maybe right here. So all I'm doing is poking it in a line so that I have a neckline, and this is where I'm going to insert where the ear attaches. Okay, so here's my neckline. Let me see if I can show it to you. You see that? Yeah, okay. And I'm also going to look at the face right now because this is going to be my face. And it's a little uneven and bumpy. So if I want to make it a little smoother, or you can of course shape it however you want, but if I want to make it a little smoother, I can take a little bit of my extra wool, sort of tease it into the shape I want it. And then what I'm going to do to give it a really smooth face, I'm going to poke it in at the neckline like this. So poked it in at the neckline first, and then I'm going to kind of tease it over like this. It's already staying. Okay, let me see if I can show that to you better. Okay, so I poked it in right here, and I'm gonna tease it over like that so it's a little smoother, like that. Okay, and so now that it's smooth, then I'm going to go underneath a bit. So I'm gonna go around just so I don't add more holes to the face and make it uneven or something. Okay. There. So that really smoothed out the face. Happy with that. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to make the ears. So for ears, if you can look at and compare these two piggies. So this piggy has a slightly larger ear than this, proportionally speaking, and I don't know, it just kind of depends on how you like the size of the ears, since every little pig is different. So I think I'm going to just get a little bit, I'm going to try to get about the same amount of wool from my extra. Okay, I'm just gonna try that and see how it goes. Okay. And there couple ways to make ears, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold it into a triangular shape. So let me see if I can show that to you closer. There. Going to put it down and just poke. Like that. And since I'm going to be attaching this end, I'm not going to worry too much about the fluff. Although this has a little too much, so I'll just hold it and then just get rid of it. Like that. So something like that. And then you can always look to see if you like the size. So, there, okay. Yep. Where did that voice come from? All right. So I'm going to make one more to match that size. Okay. And again, I'm going to fold it into a triangle up here. And then poke it. And you can also poke the back, but this came together okay. So that's actually pretty darn close, isn't it? Okay. And I think when I pulled it, I just sort of, okay, so I'm gonna say that's close enough for me. Okay, so then where the neck face line was, I'm going to put my ear a little bit higher. Ooh, we got thunder outside. Okay, and then I'm gonna let these little fluffies just sort of hang out, and I'm just going to poke. Poke. Can you see that? Okay, poke, 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 poke. Okay, and I am going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, see if I can angle it a little bit. Not sure if you can see that. And if you don't like the placement, you can always take it off and try again, okay? So I'm gonna look at it and I think I'm good with that right now. Okay, so then this extra bit that is the little fluff, I'm just going to gently poke in. That's it. Okay. Okay. And you can always sort of shape it with your hand a little. And remember, you've got all this extra wool, so if you wanted to add more, make your pig be a little bit bigger, or you know, there's like a little hole you want to fix, you can always just add more. So it's really, there's just no way you can make a mistake. Just keep poking. Okay, so now I think I'm gonna go for the snout. So what I'll do is where I want the snout, and I don't know if I can do this backwards, I'm going to outline it with my felting needle, kind of like how I did my neckline. So that's what I'm gonna do. I don't think I can do this backwards. I'm gonna have to do it looking at it. So I'm just going to outline the snout where I want it. And I will show you after I do it. So again, you can make this really big, really little, however you want your little pig to be. Okay, I think I like that. All right, so I'm gonna show you the little outline I made. Okay, and then I'm going to take the slightly darker pink wool, and let's see, I think I'm just gonna tease it into kind of like a circle thing here. Okay, well, I'll just go ahead and sort of gently poke it for now. Okay, so I'm making the snout. Okay, and then I'm going to attach it right here. So again, I can't do this backwards, so I'm gonna have to do it and show you. Maybe we need a camera above my shoulders, but that's beyond my skills. So I'll just have to learn to do this backwards. Okay. Oh my goodness. Am I doing it? I don't know. Sometimes I get so caught up in it, I'm not even sure what I'm looking at or where. Okay, that's okay. Sorry. Okay, there's the camera, Piggy. Okay. Okay, so it's a little not straight. Okay, so I'm just gonna clean it up since now that I'm looking at it. Okay, so there's my little snout so far, and next I'm going to add the little white nostrils. So there's this is way too much, so I usually include a lot more than you'll need. So just take like a really little pinch, and I'm actually going to split this pinch to two. I know it looks like nothing, right? Okay, and then I'm gonna roll these. You can do one at a time. I'm trying to speed it up and see if I can do both at once. I'm just gonna roll, roll, roll on my fingers. And then once it's in a slightly circular, I'm gonna have a hard time showing this to you. Okay, then I want it to be a little like longer, like a little rice piece. So I'm going to now sort of go rolling this way to make it more like a rice shape. Okay, I think I got it. There. Okay, so then I'm going to poke this. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can do it looking at the camera. Okay, so poke here to make sure I like the location. Yeah, that looks all right for now. So you're just gonna poke that in. I'm gonna get the other little nostril. Okay, I'm just poking it in gently and carefully. Okay, so just since it's a demo purpose, I'm not going to spend too much time, but I'm going to want to make this as even as I possibly can. Okay. Okay, and then next I'm going to make the little eyes. So again, I'm going to take a pinch of my black, so there's usually a little extra. I'm going to split it and roll it. And you're always welcome to use beads or other little eyeballs that you can find. But this is a quick and easy way to get it done without having to get glue and other tools. So I love things that use few colors, few tools, and are quick and easy. Okay, so now I got eyeballs. I think you can see. Okay, so these actually came out pretty close to the same size. So I'm gonna go ahead and use these as is. If you've got one that's too small or too big, just grab another pinch and try and just make a couple and see which two eyeballs you like. You can also take a little piece off of the eyeball that's too big and make it smaller. Okay, and then I'm just gonna put it where I want it, like that. Ooh, okay, and then I'm gonna start poking it. So that's just a quick initial poke. It's got one eye. And then I'm gonna take the other one. And again, experiment with this because depending on where you place the eye, you're gonna have a very different looking piggy. So you can put the eyes really close, a little further apart, a little higher, a little lower, a little closer together. and you'll have a slightly different look every time. So just experiment and figure out what look you want. And if you don't like it, you can just pull the eyeballs out or eyes out and poke it in again. And if you start having little dents in your wool, just repair it with a little extra wool and you're good to go again. So there are the little eyeballs. Okay, so now the fun part, the tail. So I like to give my pigs a curly little tail like this. And so the way I do that, so I'm gonna take a little bit of this pink. So you're going to want to get it a little bit like long. So just pull a piece and then sort of stretch it out like this. So it looks like a little long piece of wool. Okay. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to actually twist this. So first, like just take a short, so you're just holding it in place and you can just twist it. Okay, twist, 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 twist. You're actually making a super quick yarn right here. So now you're learning to spin wool into yarn. Okay, so, oops, it already did it. So once you get it pretty, oh goodness, okay. Just keep at it. So once you get to this point, then just grab both ends and then let it go like that. Oh, I'm sorry, did you miss that? Okay, so then we're just going to poke here. And put the tail in. There you go. All done. Oop, this way. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Bye.